And if we didn't, did we play the right way? Did we play with force? Did we play with aggressiveness? Did they feel us the way that I want them to feel us? And that's the mindset. I know it sounds like whatever, but that's just how we have to address it as we have made so many changes. There's so much going on. Guys are learning how to play together. Guys are learning nuances and tendencies and a lot of different things. And then I'm asking them to follow game plans and switch game plans from game to game, which is things that you do in the playoffs. So trying to overload them with information, but at the same time keep it simple. So I get your question, but it's really hard to answer that how you would like.
You talk a lot about professional basketball game like style, and Keegan talked about it when he was in here just a second ago. Could you just briefly describe what you're looking at when you talk about professional basketball?
There's a way that you approach a game, and it's kind of what I alluded to. It's about you. It's not about your opponent. So your approach, I don't put more on that. I don't put less on that. I am going to play at a professional level regardless who's across from me. I'm going to give it up. I'm going to dive on the floor. I'm doing every single thing that I can do. And listen, I've been in this league, so there's, big time quote unquote games and a lot of different things. But on the best team that I ever played on, we didn't look at it that way. We came in to play everybody. And then, as I said, the byproduct of that was a really good record. It was a really good run. And that's what I want them to understand. You do not look past your opponent. You do not disrespect your opponent. You come in and really to give your opponent the most respect is you go at them. And that's what I want them to do.
On the offensive side, DeMar, Zach, Keegan all got going early.
Yeah.
I think it had 44 points in the first half combined or something like
Yeah.
that. How cool is that to see? Just kind of that, it almost felt like it clicked a little bit there in the first half for them.
Yeah.
And how important is that to be something you can kind of maintain? Obviously, maybe it won't be to that level every night, but something to maintain with that unit.
I would say out of all of those guys, Keegan is probably the one that I want to lock in on, because DeMar is he's been in this league. He's a Hall of Famer. He understands the game at a really high level, and that is processing it, first half, second half, how he's going about it. Zach is obviously the player of the week, and we know what he brings. Keegan's aggressiveness paired with the fact that he is most likely always on the best offensive player. So learning how to play hard on one end, but still be aggressive and find your shots and your openings on the other end. That's a skill and a talent in and of itself. And to watch him continue to evolve, and I told him the other night when he had 26, I was like, for me, your reads were great. You were aggressive, all of that. Now the same game needs to happen, but maybe the shots won't go in, and that's okay. But the aggressiveness has to stay the same. The defense has to stay the same. So out of all those three, that's probably the one that when I look at the stat sheet and I see that he's aggressive and he's getting close to what I would want to see is 10 threes a game, that makes me happy.
How do you balance his aggressiveness while also being sure Levine and DeMar are getting what they need within the offense?
Well, easy, because both of those guys are learning how to find him in times where their gravity brings other players to them. And they're not selfish players, but they have to learn how to play with him. Where's he at? How does he shake up out of the corner, or those type of things? And they're doing a great job. In Houston, there was one where DeMar came off on the right side, pick and roll. Keegan shook up, defender stayed as the roll happened, and he just swung it right to him, and it was in his pocket. Boom, Keegan knocks down a shot. So that is one shot for Keegan, but at the same time, it's probably going to equal 3 or 4 for Zach, because now that he has softened the defense up, Zach and Debo can now be aggressive. And there's that feel and that trust between them that we're trying to build on a night-to-night basis.
And then just for Scal, how cool is that for him to check back into an NBA game for the first time in a long time? Obviously didn't play a ton, but just his journey and him getting back on the NBA court.
Yeah, I'm happy for Scal because I can remember when Scal came to the Kings and he left, and he's been through a journey. So to watch him, when I saw him today, I gave him a big hug, just like happy to be back. And in this moment, in a game that we win, for him to be able to get back out there. Hello, everybody. You got it, man. For us, hopefully, everybody, Kai and everybody over there is okay, first and foremost. You hate to see guys go down. So a lot of love to everybody over on that side of the locker room. For us, a professional win is kind of how I put it. A lot of times we have taken our foot off the gas sometimes when people have gone down or whatever, and to the guys' credit, they came out in the third quarter and really played a good defensive game, which is more important to me than, making shots and all this. We want to do that, obviously, but there's a side of the floor that's going to help us in the long run. So really, really proud of that as they continue to solidify their identity. Yeah.
What can you take from this recent run you're on, including tonight, that you can apply to, a tough game like Wednesday and the other tough games you guys have coming up on the schedule?
That defensively is where we need to continue to improve and hang our hat. And you're going to go through this league, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but the point of what we're trying to do is continue to work on us. Like, the opponent is going to be the opponent. Sometimes you're going to run into a team that is top 2 in the West, and then you'll run into somebody who's, bottom 10 in the Eastern Conference. For us, at this point where we're at, it's not about the opponent. It's about how we go at the game, how we digest what we're doing, how we look at rotations, and are we doing all the things? Are we playing the right way on both ends of the court? And when I look down and see 34 assists, that makes me smile, because they know that I want them to move the basketball and share it and trust each other, that when you get off the ball, it's going to come back to you. So for me, it's more about us than it is about anything.
And all that being said, the standings are the standings, and you're getting to that point in the year when there's so many teams bunched up around that 16. Is that something that's communicated at all? Are you looking at it, or how do you sort of view the circumstance the teams in?
I don't, I kind of know because people send it, but I haven't brought that up to them, because the thing that I did say to them is how we play, how hard we play, how well we play together. The byproduct of that will take care of that. And that's the mindset that we have, is we play, we move forward, we have blinders. Like, listen, if we move up in the standings, great. If we lose some, we still focus on us, and the byproduct of us focusing on us will hopefully be W's, and that's the plan.
Yeah, and I know you're kind of alluding to it, but like some of the your record against teams above 500 is I think 11 and 19 or 11 and 18, something like that. And you guys are 10 games over against teams below 500. So I don't know, how do you improve and get to the point where that starts to level out, particularly with so many good teams coming in?
Well, it depends on how you're looking at it, as us as old us, or us as new us, or us as past trade deadline. There's a lot to your question. You can't just say. So I'm looking at this team, and that's why I put faceless opponents. Like, we're going to run into, Houston, really good ball club. We figure out how to make it happen.